A little after 6 p.m. this evening, Republic TV got some pictures and we received some information of laborers, non-local laborers in Kashmir being targeted and shot at. Two of them who've succumbed are from the state of Bihar. In the last 24 hours, 3 non-local laborers from Bihar, 1 from Uttar Pradesh, have been shot dead in Kashmir.
Four civilian killings in 48 hours. The spate of targeted civilian killings has shaken the valley like never before. 2 laborers from Bihar were shot dead and 1 injured during an indiscriminate firing by terrorists at a laborer camp in one poor area of Kulgam. This only a day after 2 non-locals from UP and Bihar respectively were gunned down by terrorists in J&K, Srinagar and Pulwama districts. Watch as an eyewitness recounts the horror of the terror attack on Sunday evening.
वहाँ पे हम लोग रूम पे बैठे हुए थे, अचानक ये लोग आया उधर से दौड़े हुआ, बोलता गोली लग गया इनको। फिर वहाँ से लेके हम आए डॉक्टर के।
तो कितने बंदों का गोली लग गई है?
लगभग वहाँ 3 आदमी थे सर।
तो अभी क्या स्थिति है उनकी?
उनकी तो वो 2 का पता नहीं है लग रहा।
तो आप लोग कहाँ पे रहते हो?
हम लोग वनपुर मार्केट में रहते हैं अंदर में।
काम क्या करते हो आप लोग?
मजदूरी स्लैब पर।
अच्छा, घर कहाँ है आपका?
बिहार।
Unrest prevails in J&K, even as security personnel have intensified anti-terror operations across the valley. 9 non-locals have been killed in a week's time, and the police wants urgent measures. Pakistan needs to be taught a tough lesson. The time is now. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And joining us on the broadcast this evening are General J.J. Singh, former Chief of Army Staff. I also have Colonel Shailendra Singh, a defence expert, Lalit Ambardar, Kashmiri activist, Ahmad Ayaz, political analyst, and Syed Fazal Kashani, who's a spokesperson of J&K Apni Party. But I'd like to start first by asking General J.J. Singh, who's been the Chief of our Army Staff. General J.J. Singh, what's been happening in the last 2 weeks, especially in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, as we broadcast this evening? There have been 2 more targeted killings in Kulgam, and the Poonch encounter continues. I'd like to start to get your views on what's going on as far as the targeted killings are concerned. To get your comments first on that, General Singh.
First and foremost, I think we have to get our strategy right, because the paradigm has changed and the Pakistani army is getting desperate to produce some results. And therefore, we have to go back to 1991 when we gave a fist and crushed them. I myself was a brigade commander, and I know my brigade was responsible for 300 terrorists who were neutralized, and we had only 5 casualties on our side. The attrition ratio was 5 terrorists, 1 of 5 soldiers was not died. Today we are finding a situation where we are getting a situation where Pakistan inspired terrorists, as also I'm sure in these kind of recent operations, we cannot rule out the Pakistan ISI and the Pakistan Army and their SSG being a part of their whole operational plan. So therefore, we have to have another strategy at the highest level by which we give Pakistan a solid knock and make them understand the language which they only know. We should give them a knockout punch now. It should not be done in a hurry. But if we have our strategy all right, we will be able to win this challenge and come out as the winners. I can tell you Now it is much simpler than before because the terrorism is only isolated in the north and south of Pir Panjal range. And we can handle this much better. But I find that we have lost more soldiers and we have not been able to give the terrorists the iron fist that we have to give them. Even if we have to hit them across, we should not hesitate to do that. At the same time, diplomatically, we should tell Pakistan and the world that we will not tolerate this kind of encouragement. We all know that no terrorist come across the line of control without the support, training, arms and being provided by the Pakistan Army and PSI. I also believe that we must take strong action against all people who have supported the terrorists so far. They have not dropped from the skies. They are here. They live with somebody is giving them shelter. And when I recall my days, when we found a terrorist being hidden in the, under the floor by the villagers, at that time we told them, listen, we understand your problem. Today we don't have to give them any leniency. Anybody found supporting or aiding or hiding terrorists is as guilty as the terrorists themselves. So I think our army also has to change its tactics as well as strategy. The strategy should be that the people should tell us where a terrorist is hiding. They have mobile phones. We should give them incentives to give information to us. This is a tactical failure of the Indian Army in 2-3 incidents where we have been beaten. But as far as the intelligence agencies are concerned, they also need to revise their way of working. Third point is the J&K police knows everything. I was told as a brigade commander, sir, they know each and every terrorist, each and every person involved, and who are supporting them. So I was able to get J&K police to work along with me, and we got excellent results. Today we are on the back foot, and therefore we need to have a rethink. One more very strict action that some heads has told, some intelligence heads have to go, and some military heads have to go, and some heads have to go. The stakes are very high, and we cannot afford them to get away with this. Today, I was hopeful in the last year or two, with development being given this, impetus by the government. But still, I don't think they have produced results which should have been there. And therefore, the government agencies, organizations, now there is no political interference. In my time, if we caught a terrorist, we would some, request that from the political families like the Farooq Abdullah, Mehbooba Mufti, and so on. Today, that's not happening.
Yeah. General Singh, one last question. I had a poor audio line with you, so I'll just ask you a brief question. I'll keep it brief. What's happening in Poonch? It's been 7 days now, and the operation continues. we've lost 9 of our soldiers. Tell us about the challenges that our forces face in such operations.
I think first and foremost, there have been lapses at the tactical level. Otherwise, we would not have this one-sided kind of operational results. We haven't got even one terrorist so far, whereas we should have knocked them all out and also launched something at their bases across.
Yeah. Jal Singh, thank you for speaking to Republic TV this evening. Let me also, before I open it up for our other panelists who are joining us, I want to bring the other story of the 2 killings from Saturday. 2 other non-local laborers were killed on Saturday. I want to play that story and then go across and get our other panelists in.
A series of targeted killings in J&K. 9 have been shot dead in a week. On Saturday, 2 non-locals from UP and Bihar were shot dead by terrorists in J&K, Srinagar and Pulwama districts. Sagir Ahmed was fatally injured by terrorists in Pulwama. He later succumbed to his injuries. Ahmed originally hailed from UP. He was working as a carpenter in Kashmir. Sagir Ahmed is survived by 4 daughters and a son. Mourning the indispensable loss, Ahmed's kin demands strictest punishment to the perpetrators and compensation for the family.
अच्छा आपके अब्बू कहाँ गए थे काम करने के लिए और क्या हुआ उनके साथ कैसे पता लगा?
घर से फोन आया कि गोली लगी हम इंसाफ चाहिए।
अच्छा किसने गोली?
आतंकवादी।
क्या करने गए थे वो वहाँ?
देखा था।
तो कब से कर रहे थे वहाँ?
1.5 साल से।
अच्छा तो क्या चाहते हो आप?
हमें इंसाफ चाहिए, मुआवजा भी चाहिए।
कितने भाई बहन हैं आप लोग?
4 बहनें भाई।
कोई और सहारा है परिवार में जो काम
कोई
करने
सहारा नहीं, हमारा भाई एक अकेला है, हम 4 भाई हैं बस।
ये तो हमें घंटा पहले मालूम पड़ा है कि उनके गोली लग चुकी है, लेकिन जिसकी भी हाथ से वो गोली लगी है उनको सख्त से सख्त सज़ा मिलनी चाहिए। उनके लिए उन्हें सज़ा मिलनी चाहिए। और हमारे ये 4 भतीजियाँ हैं, एक बेटा है उनका हमारे भाई का, वो भी राजस्थान में काम करता है, लेकिन रोज़गार की वजह से ही वो परेशानी की वजह से अपनी फैमिली को छोड़ के बाहर काम करने गए।
हम एक प्रोग्राम में थे तो मंसूर भाई ने हमें बताया कि इस तरह का वाक़या हो गया है। तो जैसे हमको इसकी इत्तला मिली तो हम फ़ौरन इस घर की तरफ आए और आगे यहाँ सारा वाक़या जाना। और वाक़या यह है कि हमारे सगीर भाई जो शहर के बहुत बेहतरीन लकड़ी के कारीगर थे, वो रोज़गार के सिलसिले में कश्मीर गए थे और वहाँ पर आज ये हादसा पेश आया कि उनको आतंकवादियों ने गोली मार दी, जिसकी हम मजम्मत करते हैं, निंदा करते हैं।
This is Arvind Kumar Shah, a street vendor from Bihar living in Srinagar. He was shot in the head from point blank range. He died on the spot. Republic also spoke with father of Arvind Kumar Shah. He says terrorists asked for his son's Aadhaar card and killed him after learning that he was from outside Kashmir.
फोन पे गांव का आदमी था, एक लड़का और था, तो वही वहाँ से फोन से बात किया, ऐसे ऐसा कांड हो गया। कश्मीर नूरबाग में, तो वहाँ पर ले लिया आधार कार्ड और गोली मार दी।
अभी पाकिस्तान के साथ खेला होने वाला है, उसको लेकर क्या कहेंगे? सरकार का क्या रोक है?
उसको रोक देना चाहिए। ऐसा धांधली हो रहा है तो आदमी जिएगा, सब तो मरिए जाएगा। बिहारिया को मार रहा है।
The spate of targeted civilian killings has sent ripples across the country. The Jawans are engaged in massive counter-terror operations in J&K. India will avenge every killing. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Colonel Shailendra Singh, Lalit Ambardar, Ahmed Ayas and Syed Fazal Kashani. Let me get in Colonel Shailendra Singh first. Colonel Shailendra Singh, what do you make of the developments? It hasn't stopped. In fact, it's only getting worse.
I would like to protest on one word, that there is something called as local killing and non-local. What is local and non-local? Everybody is a local. That boy who died, who has been there for last 1.5 years, is he less than a local? No. This attack is not to do with local and non-local. It has got everything to do with who is a easy target. And since in villages, people of J&K have stopped, absolutely stopped. They are against the terrorists. That much of shelter is not available. A odd person, oblique, a odd family giving shelter is a different topic. But by and large, people of J&K are fed up of this terrorism, and at ground zero level, people are not supporting the terrorist openly or for whatever way you want to say. So as far as I am concerned, this is an attack and killing on India. This is a killing in J&K. My people are dying. So it's so sad. It is really sad. But I would have definitely requested General JJ sir to reconsider. It is not a tactical failure. Tactical failure has got a different meaning. And sir, very honestly, during your time and now, the situation is entirely different. When you yourself got shot, I was there. I was very much there in your evacuation also. But at the same time, I must tell you, that time the local population was supporting terrorism. That's not happening now. And that is where the desperation in Pakistan Army, ISI, and the terrorists has gone up. They know they got another 15 to 20 days before all the passes close, snow comes in. So they would like to encash on it today so that they can sensationalize. Why do you do this killing? So that to the local you give a message that still the terrorist is supreme and he can operate. That is the message. And this is the message which we have to fight. As J&K, we all should stand by it. Definitely, it requires a tactical strategic review. I agree on that. But these are the challenges which will keep coming. You tell me, the Kashmiri Pandit who died, were they local, non-local? Where do you want to categorize? By the way, there are so many people of J&K who are Muslim. They have been killed. Are they local or non-local? This is not a fight of local, non-local. This is a clear fight of J&K. I'm very happy that the J&K people are rising up, making the terrorists so desperate that they are now started going for easy targets, helpless targets. That laborer, what would he have done otherwise to the terrorists? This is how they show off. We have to stand together to fight against that. We'll have to, इसको हमें bear करना पड़ेगा. इसको सिर्फ छोड़ देना local, non-local. I'm very, very hurt on this issue. Within India, everybody is local. Very simple.
Yeah. Let me get in Ahmed Ayaz to respond to that. Ahmed Ayaz, you can respond to him, and then Lalit Ambardar will come in and respond and then take it from there. Ahmed Ayaz, one comment that came in some time back is how Farooq Abdullah even now wants talks with Pakistan. He believes talking to Pakistan is the answer to whatever is happening, right? And extremely disconnected, because elsewhere in Bihar, the father of Arbind Sa, one of the victims of the targeted killings last evening, says don't engage with Pakistan. He says even call off the cricket game. He says, why are we playing T20 game with them? Call that off. Now, that just tells you how disconnected politicians are in Kashmir, and I'm only talking about the Abdullahs and Muftis. Now, as far as these targeted killings are concerned, do you think that the mentality of these political parties must also change?
Is it to me?
Yes, Ahmed Ayaz, you can take that. Lalit Ambardar will come in after that.
Okay. You see, it's a very sad state of affairs that the series of killings, civilian killings, have taken place for last few days. Despite the fact a lot of measures have been taken in the past at the military level and the paramilitary forces level, huge and what we called harsh measures have been taken. Even Article 370 also was abrogated with the argument that the situation will improve and then peace will prevail. But unfortunately, nothing has yielded results. And we have been all the way telling that these measures are not workable, and they are not working, and it is proved right now. And the point is then the question arises as to what to do. You see, the government has to rethink on the issue. We have been always telling that you are doing internal operations within the Kashmir, but the point is when you say that the militancy is sponsored by the Pakistan, then what are you doing to deal with them? I mean, this question has never been answered. You see, we have been carrying out operations all around the Kashmir, and very harsh operations. And there was no let-off by the military or the security forces ever. But the killings are continuing even now. And it is the Kashmir and the Kashmiris who are at the receiving end. There are people who may discuss around. But the point is, it is we who are living here in the Kashmir, they are sufferers at the receiving end. And the question is that when the battleground will end. And it is really shocking to see people getting, killed on the roadside, whether it's an outsider, a laborer, or it is a teacher, or it is a businessman. And I don't know how long we will continue with this. And what is the strategy being followed by the government now with this? And this is a question which straightway should go to the government. That what are they going to see to it that the situation is and people live peacefully and some kind of development takes place in the country.
Yeah. Lalit Tambardar, do you want to respond to him?
Yeah, I would just start from where Ayaz stopped at. He gave a hint that how long will we have to suffer? Let me tell you, sir, as long as you keep producing Yasin Maliks, Sayyid Salahuddin, Zakir Musa, and all these jihadists, Kashmir will continue to suffer. And you're not suffering, by the way. Who suffers? It's a Muslim boy from a downtown poor Muslim family who has been goaded into taking to gun and fight for Islam and jihad. Abdullahs do not lose their kith and kin. Muftis do not lose their kith and kin. Nor did that Osama bin Laden of Kashmir, Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani, who I regret died a natural death. He should have been tried and hanged to death because he is primarily responsible for this continued cycle of death and destruction in Kashmir. As far as the present situation is concerned, listen, let me be very clear. As long as Indian state continues to be in the denial mode about what they have on hand in Kashmir, that it is jihad, is pan-Islamism inspired, terror-infested Kashmir jihad, that India is on hand. And it is averse, as it is in Afghanistan, as it is in Somalia, as it is in Syria, to non-Muslim. Non-Muslims are kafir for them. And any Muslim targeted in Kashmir is targeted not because he's a Muslim. He's targeted where they do not regard them Muslims anymore because they have some kind of connection with Indianness, with Indian state. Number two, what is happening in Jammu, by the way, Poonch area, it's not an encounter. I regret to say it's not an encounter. You don't have encounters going over seven continuous days. Listen, I am sure the government of India knows about it. Let me share what I know about what's happening across LOC. Their Pakistani army has dedicated 10th Corps, its 10th Corps, primarily after the fall of Kabul to Taliban towards Kashmir Jihad. And ironically, they are operating from Pakistan's Center for Counter-Terrorism. They have already brought redundant Taliban who have been marching across LOC in Pak-occupied Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh areas, Gilgit-Baltistan and Muzaffarabad and all those Kotli areas to boost the morale of jihadists to march to Kashmir. And there are reports they have already in Kashmir. And don't forget, it's not just Taliban who are there. It's Pakistani regular security of these forces, special forces, wearing Shilwar Kameez. They are already there, and 7 days encounter is not an encounter. I do not blame Indian Army for it, because my political establishment in Delhi do not have a proper strategy how to take Kashmir Jihad head on, because we only react. We are only on defensive. Remember, after the genocide of Kashmiri Hindus, there is not even one official acknowledgement that what Kashmiri Hindus suffered was genocide. There is not even a tribunal set up to punish the culprits. Instead, what the government of India is doing, they are pushing back poor Hindu boys and girls back to their very villages and towns from they were evicted because they are exploiting their poverty, their deprivation in the name of Prime Minister jobs. You do not push back this reforma. It's a crime. And as long as you have those perpetrators of Kashmir Jihad-led Kashmiri Hindu genocide roaming free in Kashmir, there will not be any let-up in killing of Hindus and non-Kashmiris in Kashmir. And also, one message to the civil society of Kashmir, which I do not consider them as civil society as are, it's an Islamized society. What has been flourishing in Kashmir for the past 70 years, it is the Islamo-fascist ecosystem. These people who come and have the audacity to enter a school, segregate Hindus from Muslims, pick up one Hindu and a Sikh teacher, murder them, kill them, and leave quietly. They did not drop from sky, nor did they descend into earth. They came from some neighborhood and vanished into neighborhood. These people are being fed, being hosted by local Kashmiri Muslim. And you said, General J.J. Singh, I'm sorry, sir. You said the people are awake, and Major Shailendra. Who is with you? Did you see any Kashmiri Muslim walking on the streets of Kashmir in support against these killings? Did you hear in Muftis and Abdullahs and any from Gupkar gang accusing Pakistan of these terror attacks in India? No. Indian government has one way to shift this war theater across LOC, make Pakistan bleed the way it has been bleeding us for the past 32 years. Then only you can claim the azadi from this menace called pan-Islamism inspired jihad. Otherwise, we're going to bleed like Afghanistan. You hold elections there. I've been speaking on your channel as well. The way we have been conducting Kashmir, holding those dance parties in Kashmiri Hindus temples and feeding misinformation to Narendra Modi that everything is honky-dory in Kashmir. It's not. Jihad does not end like this. Afghanistan, 20 years of NATO forces and Western European forces, trillions of dollars of investment in Afghanistan. What have you got? Taliban have returned back with more power. This is what Kashmir Jihad is about. Don't think these are isolated and targeted killings. We have very tight security grid in Srinagar, which does not allow for these jihadists to target together in a group, any community, which they did in 1990s when they went around holding AK-47 rifles and harmed Kashmiri Hindus and killed them.
Mr. Lalit Ambardar, will you let other people to put their points?
Yeah, okay.
Or
Let him come in.
Are you just
Kashani,
continuing with your hatred to the
yeah, 1
towards
second.
the community?
Kashani, 1 second. Kashani, yeah. No.
Speaking a word, listen, where are those lakhs of people who used to be on the roads in 90s supporting Yahan Kya Chalega Nizam-e-Mustafa? Where are you now today? Where are the mosques of Kashmir? From where the slogans echoed, Yahan Kya Chalega Nizam-e-Mustafa, Kashmir ke Pandito.
1 second.
Can I?
Okay, I'll give Kashani 1 minute to respond. Yeah, Kashani, go ahead. What's your response? First, do you condemn these killings?
No. I would appreciate if I get 2-3 minutes to respond to this person, and I am surprised to see how much hatred he has towards the Kashmiri community. Sir, आप आ जाएं कश्मीर, आपको कहवा पिला के आपके दिल में नफरत से निकाल देंगे आपको. First things first, he is
Hear him out.
Kashmiri community here. If he let me remind him. There was a protest in the Lal Chowk against these killings. There was a protest where majority of the Kashmiri Muslims had come out to protest against this killing. Second thing, he should stop acting as a defense expert here. I completely agree with Mr. Major Shailendra that entire Kashmir is against these terrorist attacks. Entire Kashmir is standing with the minorities here. Every Kashmiri feels the pain of these killings, and this person here on national television, he is spreading lies, he is communalizing the issue, he is trying to make it an issue where it is locals versus non-locals. Let me tell you as a Kashmiri very clearly, these people who are on the spree of killing these non-locals, they cannot be the representatives of our community, they cannot be Kashmiris. We distance ourselves from them. So this person, Mr. Lalit Ambardar, is on national TV trying to spread hatred among these communities. Last time also I warned him that we will not let him allowed to do that. We will not let him allowed to do that. I completely agree with what Mr. Major Shailendra has said, that entire Kashmir, if you see, every Kashmiri has condemned these killings. Please do not try to make it a communal issue. Please do not try to make it an issue that it is locals versus non-locals. No, this is not. This is completely people who are against humanity, people who are against Kashmiriyat. They are the ones who are on the spree of killing these innocents. हमने इनको इतने साल अपने साथ बिठाया है, हमने अपने साथ इनको हमारे घरों में जगह दी है, और आज आप हमारे पूरे कौम को बदनाम करने पे लगे हुए हैं. शर्म आनी चाहिए आपको. आप कश्मीर आ जाएं, कुछ दिन रहे, और फिर देखिए आपके साथ कैसा ट्रीट किया जाता है. आपका जो मिसकंसेप्शन है कि एंटायर कश्मीरी कम्युनिटी इज प्रोड्यूसिंग पीपल लाइक जाकिर मूसा, यासीन मलिक. नो सर. We have stood against every form of violence, and we will not let our place be the battleground for two countries. We are making it very clear.
Yeah, Colonel Shailendra is raising his hand. I'll let him respond. Colonel Shailendra. Colonel Shailendra and then Ahmed Ayaz.
Yes, I think I must appreciate the son of Kashmir who has spoken so beautifully. Let me tell you, I was also in Kashmir just a month back. I was there for 10 days. I have roamed around at all possible places. Let me tell you that. And what this boy is saying, the son of JNK is saying, whether he's a Muslim, Hindu or what, that I couldn't care less. Here is a boy from Kashmir who's right in saying that today's JNK is not as what it was earlier, that they are supporting killings. They are all against killing. They are fed up. Let me tell you. Yes, Lalit may be right only to this one extent, that at a government level, we require a strategy how to counter this so-called blame game of ISI, Pakistan Army, everything. If we are very clear about it, and Pakistan is on a continuous denial mode, let us help Pakistan. Let us go across and take out those camps. Very simple. भाई देखिए पाकिस्तान तो शुरू से बोल रहा है कि उसको टेररिज्म का बहुत हर्जाना भुगतना पड़ता है, वो सपोर्ट नहीं करता है, तो हम उसके उन कैंप्स में जहां वो नहीं पहुंच पा रहा, let us go there and eliminate them. Why are we waiting till they will come this side and then we will kill them? Let us, if somebody is so clear कि भाई उरी में वो उनके जो स्पेशल फोर्सेस है वो आकर ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं, so have we got the liberty to do reciprocate, and we must reciprocate most warmly by not only eliminating these few, we will eliminate the whole camp. We will eliminate the number of camps which are existing. We have the wherewithal. We have the will now. Where is the government? Government is this only, that we will do something which the country needs. And I hats off to this Kashmiri boy. I congratulate you, beta. I can only tell you one thing. There is nothing called as local, non-local. You are as local as what I am. And if we both are Indian, let us appreciate each other. There is no blame game that I have to tell you that you are the bad boy.
Yeah, no, I just want to make one point because, just before coming into the debate, 1 minute. Lalita, let you respond. I just want to bring in Ahmed Ayaz and then you can respond to him, right? I wanted, Ahmed Ayaz, listen to me. 1 minute. I have some data. I'll just read that out and I want you to listen to me very carefully, right? Look at what's been happening from the 5th of October. I'm just reading out the names, locations and who was targeted, right? 5th of October 2021, Mohammad Shafi Lone. He's a taxi union president, right? Usually he dealt with tourists. 5th of same day, Virender Paswan, a Bihar resident, the Belpuri wala. 5th of October, Makanlal Bindru, a pharmacist. 7th of October, Supinder Kaur, principal. Same day, Deepak Chand, both were in the same room. The terrorists entered, asked for their identities, just dragged only both of these out and shot them dead for their identity, right? I'm not making it communal. 16th of October, Arvind Kumar Sa, right? Arvind Kumar Sa, they saw his Aadhaar card. His father today in Bihar said they saw his Aadhaar card, they asked for his Aadhaar card, they saw his identity and then shot him dead, right? Sagir Ahmad is an Uttar Pradesh resident who was there. He was a carpenter who was there in Kashmir to get a job, to earn a livelihood. 17 today, Joginder, one of the victims from Bihar again, also killed. Raja Rishi Dev, also from Bihar. You see, there is a pattern to it. Ahmed Ayaz, you may choose to see it or not, but there is a pattern to it. You can deny, you can say whatever. You can say, and I agree with you that the majority of the population in Kashmir may be against these killings, but the threat is in everyone not speaking in one voice.
See, whatever killings have taken place, there's hardly anyone in Kashmir who must not have felt bad of it and, not condemn it. Hardly you will find anyone. But Lalit has made many points and most of them are irrelevant and out of track, saying that this is an homegrown militancy as has been produced, as was alleged. But then the point is that he has to decide whether it is a homegrown militancy or Pakistan. Because the most of the time it is coming out that it is sponsored by the Pakistan. When he blames the people in Kashmir saying that it is a homegrown militancy, then it has to be decided first whether it is a homegrown militancy or it is sponsored by the Pakistan. As long as homegrown is concerned, and it is last 30,
No, I don't think you should get into whether it's homegrown terror or whatever. I mean, that's complete bunkum. I don't think we should even talk about that. Why are we even talking about that? Please, let's not even talk about that.
Let me comment. Let me comment. Let me comment.
He has fairly blamed us, saying that it is you who have produced it there in Kashmir. But the point is that the government data is something different. The inputs of the intel is different. They say it is a Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. And then to say that Kashmiri have produced it, I think it needs to be clarified what exactly is the thing. Then that means for last 33 years, the government has been, making castles in the air. They have been flying in the air. Does it mean that the action, what have been they taking for last 33 years, dealing with the homegrown militancy, has all the way been erased? Is that the thing Lalit is going to take?
Can I?
Yeah, I also, you can come in, Lalit, you can come in. Lalit, you can come in. I just want to also say that there is some breaking news coming in. We have a live feed coming in of Arvind Shah's body being brought to Patna, his mortal remains being brought to Patna from Kashmir. His family is there at the station. Prakash Singh, our correspondent, is there. I'll go across to him the moment I get the feed. But I'm coming to you. In about 30 seconds, I'll get the feed. But Lalit, yes, I'll give you 30 seconds to respond.
Yeah, I wish I could share optimism of Colonel Shailendra sir. Listen. Kashmir Jihad is Pak origin, Pak sponsored, but the protagonists are local Kashmiri Muslim. Yasin Malik is not a Pakistani. Sayyid Salahuddin is not a Pakistani. Pakistani stooge operating on the soil of Kashmir called this old man who just died. I again regret he died a natural death. This Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani. He is a Pakistani stooge. He's a Kashmiri, right? All these Kashmiri terrorists are there who are involved in these killings. They have supporters. They are being guided by Pakistanis. There are not all Pakistanis out there. Remember Tariq Sharif, the so-called symbol of Kashmirians, when it was burned by Major Mastugul of Pakistani army. How did local Kashmiris celebrate? Sar Banya Mastugul Kaki. It's in Kashmiri this. Tariq Sharif to banega, lekin Major Mastugul ka bane. You know how you received Bitta Karate in his locality when he was released on technical grounds? The murder, the butcher of Kashmiri Hindu, local Kashmiri Muslim women received him singing local Kashmiri song.
Yeah.
And you say that there is no support.
I'm just getting in a live feed now. Okay, before you respond, I want to go across to Prakash. Prakash is joining us live from Patna, where the mortal remains of Arvind Shah are being brought. Let me go across to him for a minute. Kashani is responding. Kashani, hold on. I'll come back to you. I want to go across straight to Patna. Prakash, you heard from the family there. I can see your frame now. Why don't you tell our viewers what's going on? You spoke to the family earlier today.
Well, yes, Niranjan, I'm here at the Patna airport. The body of Arvind Shah has arrived here at the Patna airport. The district administration from Banka have also arrived along with the relatives. And these are painful moments. And as we report, 2 more migrant laborers from Bihar have also been murdered in Kashmir. And I'm joined by one of the relatives of Arvind Shah. He's come here to get the body back to Banka. ये बताइए कि आपको क्या जानकारी मिली जब अरविंद शाह जी की हत्या हो गई?
इसकी जानकारी मिली सर, जब इसका वहाँ पे आतंकवादी ने जब इसको गोली मारा तो मुझे वहाँ से कोई बंदे फ़ोन किया कि ऐसे ऐसे बात है, जो यहाँ अरविंद को फ़ोन लगा के देखो। तो मैं फिर फ़ोन लगा तो इसका फ़ोन नहीं लगा और कोई बंदा बोल दिया कि डेट कर गया ये प्लॉट पे। ये
उनके साथ 2 और लोग आ रहे हैं?
हाँ, तो उसका एक भाई है, एक चचेरा भाई है उसके साथ, बड़ा वाला भाई। उसका
बताया आपको दोनों तो एक ही साथ रूम में रहते थे वहाँ जो आ रहे हैं दोनों?
एक ही साथ रहता था, एक ही साथ खाता था, दोनों अलग अलग बेचने के लिए खाली जाता था, माले अलग अलग।
पता क्या चला वहाँ पर कि आइडेंटिटी कार्ड मांगा, उसके बाद फिर
कार्ड मांग के मारुति रोका रोड पे, उसके बाद रोक के ठोक दिया।
पहले भी ऐसी दिक्कतें आती थी वहाँ?
नहीं, दिक्कत नहीं आती, यही 2 महीना से दिक्कत आ रही है। पहले दिक्कत वहाँ पे नहीं।
से क्या दिक्कत आती?
वही बाहर वाले को मारता है 2 महीने से। आज भी 2 को मार दिया है।
तो ये जो है आपके जो दो और रिश्तेदार जो उनके साथ आ रहे हैं बॉडी के साथ अभी आ गए हैं पटना एयरपोर्ट पर, उन्होंने क्या बताया? उनको भी कोई खतरा महसूस हो रहा था?
खतरा महसूस वही था कि अब आज ना तो कल महसूस ही हो जाता, जब स्थिति खराब चल रही है ना, हो भी सकता था, इसका कोई गारंटी नहीं था।
कोई पूछताछ नहीं किया?
नहीं, इससे पूछताछ नहीं किया अभी कुछ नहीं।
और लोगों के बारे में क्या बताया?
वो पूछता नहीं, वो डायरेक्ट जिस आता है पूछ के बस सीधा ठोक देता है, वो पहले नहीं पूछता नहीं मरता है उसको कुछ।
आप क्या करते हैं? आप भी कभी गए हैं कश्मीर?
मैं 7 तारीख को आया हूँ कश्मीर से।
आप कश्मीर में ही काम करते?
कश्मीर में काम करते थे, 7 तारीख को आया हूँ, यही 7 को अभी आने से।
कश्मीर में
नूरबाग से सीमेंट के दर
वहाँ पर क्या लेबर का काम करते?
लेबर का काम करते थे।
तो अभी काहे के लिए आए थे?
दुर्गा पूजा का आया था, छठ करने के लिए आए थे। फिर
आप दोबारा नहीं जाएंगे?
अब अभी नहीं जाएंगे।
अब जाएंगे या कभी नहीं जाएंगे?
अब नहीं जाएंगे। क्यों? घटना हो गया ना, इस तरह हो जाएगा, क्या फायदा मिलेगा? घर वाले रोक रह जाता है, यहीं की लोग काम करेंगे।
कश्मीर तो भारत का अंग है, आपको क्या लगता है कि वहाँ पर किसी को जाने की आज़ादी नहीं होनी चाहिए?
वो खाता है हिंदुस्तान का, गाता है पाकिस्तान का।
क्या बोलते हैं लोग वहाँ?
बोलता है मुझे आज़ादी चाहिए पाकिस्तान का।
कौन बोलता है?
वहाँ का मुस्लिम लोग बोलता है।
I'll have to take a short break at this point. We'll come back to the live coverage with Prakash, who's in Patna. I'll take a break and come back, Prakash. Prakash, keep talking to him, Prakash. It's being recorded. Keep recording. I have to take a short break. Back with the live coverage.